Do you want to know how to drive more traffic to your e-commerce store? Then stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Keyway Show. How you doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you're to ask me. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about how to drive more traffic to your online store. This is kind of very important. You worked a long way. You've spent a lot of hours on your online store. You worked on the product descriptions. You have made sure that the page looks nice. You have worked on the About Us page, the mission, the statements. You've done a lot of work now. It's important after launching your online store to start spreading the word about it. You need to drive traffic to it. And how do you do that? We're going to talk about it right now. The first thing you need to do is word of mouth. Word of mouth is very important. Word of mouth marketing is still and will always be the most influential way to drive traffic to your new store, whether you have an offline store, brick and mortar, or online store. Your friends and family will be your inaugural brand ambassadors and may even be your first sales. So you want to leverage their voices so that you can get the buzz around, first step in getting buzz for your brand. The ultimate goal of word of mouth is to create a conversation with your store as the starting point, and this can be accomplished in a few ways. Make sure you always provide excellent client service. Listen, I don't care if the client is your family member or a friend or a colleague. You need to set the bar very high and provide excellent customer service. Providing excellent customer service is the lowest bar for online retailers, but shipping your items quickly and replying to emails instantly can go a long way in establishing trust. As usual, your friends and families will be the front lines of broadcasting your new store. You may already have Facebook shared your domain name, but if you haven't, you need to do it now. You got to do it now. Besides word of mouth, you want to tell your story with a longer post. Very important. If you don't have a knack for writing, you can outsource this to someone else. You want to hire a copywriter to write a long post about your store. What is the story behind it? You want to tell people some juice around the store, right? Storytelling goes a long way. You want to tell people how it all started, what drives you, what drives the team, what kind of goals you have in the short term and the long run, and make it a long post. It's called a long format. I'm talking here about 1,000 words or 1,500 words. And this is kind of cool also for SEO, for search engine optimization in the long run. If you're not interested in writing, you can have a video. And again, the video has to be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something very deep. Not a 5-minute thing talking about the synopsis of the store. No, you want something long, all right? So word of mouth marketing, number 1. Number 2, tell your story with a longer post. Number 3, you want to reach out to your friends and family members you know will likely share your post if you ask them to. So word of mouth is kind of cool because it spreads within your close circle, your entourage. Here, what I'm asking you is to reach to the larger network of people that you know. This could go all the way back to your class, to your high school classmates, to the alumni of your university or college. You want to dig deep into your personal network to reach out to everybody you ever know. All right. If you have family member you haven't seen in years, reach out to them. You have an aunt or you have an uncle, you have a grandpa, you have grandma. You want to reach out and really make sure that you reach out to them in the sense that not just in opportunistic way, simply because you need them, so you are just reaching out to them. No, you want to reach out to them and make sure that you are syncing their needs, their aspirations, their dreams with what you're selling. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to find a common denominator between what you're offering as a product or service in your online store with the needs and wants of the person you're reaching out to. And when it comes to that, make sure that you send a personalized message, please. All right. So you want to be short. You want to be the point. You have to be concise and precise. The messaging which you should adapt should be personalized. Don't send them the same mass message to an email chain or make a large thread. No, it is very important, because if you want people to get back to you, and because you're not just asking them to get back to you, you're asking them to not only visit your store, check out the products and services that you're selling, but also spread the word around your store. So for someone to spread the word around your products or services, they first need to be convinced about the quality and clarity of your offering before talking about it to other people. It's all about reputation building. So if someone, and I don't care if the person is a family member, if they don't trust, if there is no trust between their view of your store and what you're offering, they're not going to share it. And they may not even reply to you. So you have to be very careful there. All right. So first, word of mouth marketing. Number 2, tell your story with a longer post. Number 3, reach out to your deeper network of friends and relatives and ask them to share the content. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How you doing today? We are still having a conversation here around how to drive more traffic to your e-commerce store. And the fourth thing you could do, the fourth step you can take is to engage in digital search engine marketing advertising. It's called SEM advertising. What is that? Let's just break it down. You have paid search. You can actually place Google ads, or you can place LinkedIn ads, or whatever social media ads you want to place. It really depends, again, on your sector. So if you are, let's say you're in the coaching business and you believe that your target audience hangs out more on Facebook, then you want to place ads on Facebook. Paid search is simply the quickest way to kickstart traffic to your store because of how efficient Google has made it to create campaigns. So like a brick and mortar, if you build a billboard next to the highway, people are going to see it. You don't need the domain authority that SEO requires, nor the heft of a massive social media following to get new customers. You can simply advertise in the right spot at the right time. Paid search is simply the quickest way to kickstart traffic to your store because Google, and this is not just Google, Bing also does the same thing. Yahoo search and other small, lesser known search engines, they have made it very easy in terms of budgeting. Also, I was just telling you earlier about the fact that it's they've made it very convenient for people to advertise. Yes, but the cost also is very low. So you want to have a successful SEM advertising campaign. So pay-per-click, PPC. You got to make sure that your store is targeting the people who are potential customers where they usually hang out. We've seen a lot of online stores making the mistake of advertising, say, on a platform that does not resonate with their target audience, or using a marketing conduit that does not have no effect on their audience. You got to think about the sales funnel here. Sales funnel is very important. So you got to think about how to advertise something no one knows exists yet. You have to think about, and the great thing, for example, about Facebook marketing, Facebook advertising is that, and Google also does the same thing, and YouTube, you have the same thing. I think all social media do this. They allow you to tailor, they allow you to narrow down your target. So you can actually specify the demographics, you can specify the regions, you can specify the profession, the lifestyle preferences, all this kind of stuff of the target audience you are trying to reach. Next, you want to think about social outreach. What is that? So moving away from social advertising and paid media, social outreach is another excellent opportunity to increase your brand awareness and drive traffic. So social media influencers, particularly on Instagram and YouTube, they are excellent resources for a quick burst of traffic via sponsored and promoted posts. So outreach to vlogs and social users is another angle of media posting that very quickly opens up to a new audience. However, it's not entirely without cost. So here I'm not talking about free samples here. You got to pay money. You got to pay. So sending free merchandise for review and brand awareness is a quick and relatively simple solution to acquire positive press about your store. Sending free merchandise and for review is kind of cool, but you want to make sure that you are sending it to the right influencer. Another thing you want to do is you want to research, and this will take some time, but it is relatively possible. You want to research who you want to target via the social media channels best avenue. So that means, for example, you want to follow trending hashtags on Instagram using Google's tools. You can also go to YouTube, for example. YouTube has a tagging system to fund reviewers and other DIY enthusiasts within your brand's industry. One thing that's very important though, once you find the creators, please make sure they are motivated, they are engaged. You don't want creators who love your products or love your brand or industry, but they don't have a loyal or active follower base. So you want to make sure that the creators are posting regularly. They have a brand voice which is similar to yours. The last thing you want is to be accidentally lambasted by sending products to a reviewer known for showing bias in their reviews or being overtly negative. So instead find your own pseudo ambassadors. You would be happy with using your products regardless of follower counts. So and this is something that we have tried ourselves. You don't want to aim for the stars. I'm talking here figuratively and literally. Major brand ambassadors with millions of followers are likely out of your price point, and your outreach may be ignored. You want to focus instead on those who will be excited to get to know your products. Then follow them and engage with their posts. To drive traffic to your e-commerce store, you also need to craft the message. Very important, folks. You want to make sure that your message is in sync with what the people are looking for, what your potential customers, what your influencers, the potential influencers are looking for. And to kind of do that, it's very simple. You can either do some research on the internet in terms of keywords that resonate with your target audience. You can also you can gather some intelligence on your competitors. So do some competitive intel, so you know exactly which terms, which keywords, which key phrases are kind of cool in the industry you're in. But you got to craft that message, and it doesn't matter whether you are on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, Twitter, or LinkedIn. You got to craft the message. Of course, you got to make sure that the message fits within the what I call the intellectual bandwidth of the platform on which you are going to show the message. Because the last thing you want is, Instagram, for instance, as we all know, Instagram is a photo-oriented platform. So you're not going on Instagram to post a long form text, or you're not going on Twitter to paste a long form text. No. So you got to adapt your message, the way you craft the message, based on the platform on which it's going to be shown. And another way to drive more traffic to your online store is to follow up. This is very important. This is the most critical aspect of it all. So you'll need to let's say you reach out to a social media influencer, you send them a product, or you reached out to your family members, your friends and family and colleagues, and you haven't followed up. You need to follow up. You need to follow up to make sure that they have acted on your message, whether they have shared the information, and if they have some positive, some critical feedback on your store, if they found something that they didn't like, things they liked, that kind of stuff is kind of cool. It's very important also to kind of help them understand your business model, to understand the kind of goals you are trying to reach. So please follow up. And when it comes to social media influencers, of course you want to follow up, because you want to make sure that they have reviewed your products, they have posted a video or written a blog article about it, and you also want to make sure that whatever they promised to deliver, they have actually delivered it, so that you can pay them, right? And one thing is very important is that, for instance, if you have if a blogger has reviewed your products or service, this can help you develop a backlink and help spur traffic between your new ambassador and your website. So the content creator you're sending content to will get the gist, and they know that in return of receiving products, a post or shout out is implied, right? So make sure you capitalize on it when it comes. It's kind of important. All right, folks, here you have it. So how to drive more traffic to your online store. There are several ways to do this. You can try 1 or 2 or 3 or even all of them here, all of the steps I've given you here. So follow up with people you reach out to, craft a message, research who you want to target via the social media channels, do some social outreach, engage in digital SEM advertising. You want to reach out to your friends and family members who will likely share your post. You want to tell your story with a longer post, and you want to use word of mouth. All right, folks, thank you so much for today's conversation. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.